was the night of the Palm Blessing Festival, when villagers of Obodo Azu gathered to thank the gods for a bountiful harvest. Torches burned bright, casting golden light over dancers painted in white clay. At the center of the square stood the ancient palm tree, the one said to be older than the village itself. Its long leaves shimmered like silver under the moonlight. As the drums rolled and laughter echoed, the village elder, Mama Nwakigo, announced the beginning of the sacred pouring. Her wrinkled hands held the first calabash. Tonight, she said proudly, the gods drink with us. A hush fell as Mama Nwakigo pierced the palm tree's bark with a ritual blade. Instead of the usual milky white sap, a thick red liquid began to flow. The crowd gasped, murmuring prayers and crossing themselves. The elder's smile faded. Strange, she whispered. The young men exchanged uneasy glances. Maybe the gods are angry, said Afani, a 26-year-old palm tapper. But the elder waved him off. The gods do not bleed, she said, though her trembling voice betrayed her doubt. Despite the unease, tradition demanded the tasting. Mama Nwakigo filled a small gourd and lifted it to her lips. The red liquid glimmered like blood in the firelight. For the gods, she whispered, and drank. For a moment, nothing happened, then she smiled, her eyes glassy. Sweet, sweeter than before, she murmured, handing the gourd to the next. One by one, others drank. Their laughter grew louder, more wild, echoing off the trees like madness. The sound was infectious until one man's laughter turned into choking.
Within minutes, the laughter spread like fire. Men, women, and children giggled uncontrollably, their bodies shaking violently. Some danced until they collapsed, still grinning. Others clawed at their throats as if trying to pull the laughter out. The drummers stopped. The flames flickered strangely, bending toward the tree. Mama Nwakigo fell to her knees, laughing through tears. The gods are drinking us instead, she gasped before collapsing. By dawn, the village was silent. Dozens lay lifeless, their faces frozen in grotesque smiles. Only a few had survived, including Afani, who had spat out his drink in disgust after the first taste. His heart pounded as he stumbled through the bodies of his friends. The sacred palm tree still dripped red sap, thick and slow. He stared at it, trembling. "What are you?" he whispered. The morning breeze carried faint laughter through the leaves. Desperate, Ifani ran to the outskirts where Adiz, the village healer, lived. Her hut smelled of herbs and smoke. Adiz, a 35-year-old woman with almond skin and long braided hair, listened silently as he told her everything. When he mentioned the red sap, her expression hardened. "That is no wine," she said. "It is blood. The tree was fed long ago, by a sacrifice forgotten." She pulled out an ancient scroll etched with palm leaves and strange runes. "And it remembers hunger." At dusk, the few survivors gathered in fear. The drums of mourning echoed through the village, but beneath them, Ifani heard something else, faint laughter weaving with the rhythm. The tree swayed though there was no wind. Adiz stepped forward, sprinkling salt around the square. "No one must go near the tree again," she warned. But as night fell, a red glow began pulsing from the trunk, rhythmic, like a heartbeat. That night, the dead rose laughing. Their eyes glowed crimson as they stumbled through the streets, mimicking festival dances. Ifani grabbed a torch and swung wildly. "Stay back," he shouted. The air smelled of rot and palm wine. Adiz chanted ancient verses, her voice trembling. "The tree's roots feed on souls," she cried. "Burn it before dawn or it will claim us all." Together they approached the tree, flames in hand. The red sap hissed like boiling oil when touched by fire, releasing thick black smoke. But instead of burning, the tree laughed, a low, mocking sound that vibrated the ground. Suddenly, the flames turned blue and shot upward, forcing them to retreat. "It's alive!" Ifani shouted. "No," Adiz corrected, trembling, "it's awake." From the smoke, a figure emerged, tall, lean, skin like bark, eyes dripping red sap. "You drank of me," it said, its voice echoing from the earth. "Now you are mine." It raised a hand, and laughter began again from the corpses nearby. Ifani clenched his jaw. "Then take me, but free them." The spirit's grin widened. "A noble heart, perfect wine for my roots." Adiz screamed as Ifani stepped forward and plunged his knife into his palm. Blood dripped onto the soil beneath the tree. The spirit inhaled deeply, the laughter fading into silence. "Your blood, pure." "I sleep again," it whispered before crumbling into ash. The red glow faded. The air grew still. Ifani collapsed, pale and gasping, as Adiz caught him. "You stopped it," she said softly, tears falling on his lifeless hand. At sunrise, the surviving villagers found the palm tree blackened and dry. The laughter was gone. They buried the dead with songs of peace. Adiz sat beside Ifani's grave, whispering a prayer. He gave his life for ours. Let no one forget. But deep in the soil, beneath the ashes, a single root twitched faintly, red. Weeks later, rain returned. From the soil near the grave, a tiny palm sprout emerged, red-tinted and trembling. A child passing by stopped and stared. "Mama, look," she called. Adiz's heart froze when she saw it. She knelt slowly, whispering to the earth, "Not again." The sprout quivered as if it heard her. As the crowd cheered, Adiz's voice cracked through the drums, "Don't drink the palm wine." But her warning was drowned by laughter, that same endless laughter that once killed. Her eyes filled with tears as she turned away, knowing history was repeating. The drums of joy had become drums of death again. Centuries later, travelers say the forest around Obodo Azu is haunted by laughter carried on the wind. The red palm tree still stands, taller than ever, its sap dripping endlessly into the earth. Locals warn outsiders who pass through, "You can dance, you can sing, but don't drink the palm wine, unless you wish to laugh yourself into death."